Yeah, in the next movie, you know, it's
Nice. Can we quote you on that?
What we are witnessing here is the return of Titans.
How many of these things are there?
17 and counting.
That's messed up.
Between this movie and Stranger Things, there's few people who are as good as looking terrified at things coming at them right now.
Oh, yes.
You are. What is the secret to that?
Act terrified.
Nice.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
This is real inside the actor studio.
I feel like, you know, I feel like it's really important to visualize. I mean, you know, it's funny. Vera and I were talking about it, and we were saying how like we visualize two different things. Like, what did you visualize?
Like during.
Like when you were pretending to look at Godzilla, what? Because I saw a bright green lizard.
Oh,
Like
no.
neon green.
Oh no!
Even though I knew what he looked like, I still visualized that. You know. So what did you see?
I definitely saw like the early '90s Godzilla. Now he kind of like gets a little cat-faced a little bit. Like he looks way more fierce, and that's just always been the Godzilla that's always in my head. Yours was probably the Matthew Broderick one.
You're giving me too much credit as an actor. I play pretend.
Yeah, for money.
Yeah, I play pretend for money. So, I just, you know, I did this.
Ooh.
You know,
Oh, wow.
What a shudder.
Yeah.
He's looking right at us.
like that. It's easy. It's easy.
You were in this movie, and you were in Detective Pikachu as well. This month. So two very different looks at worlds with monsters.
Pikachu's not monsters, you know, just some great friend. And Godzilla also, I'm not fan of the Godzilla because, you know, it's my friend, he's my friend. Then just totally different kind of friend. And then, what's that mean? And then it's Godzilla is like more deep underlying message and the civilization and science and how can I coexist with the nature or something. And then it's great entertainment branded with the underlying message or something. And I liked that Godzilla. Also Pikachu, yeah.
So I'm wondering, were either of you guys fans at all of Godzilla or any monsters growing up?
I loved when my brother would incorporate his Godzilla into our like childhood play. I was more of like a strawberry shortcake Barbie thing, but he would grab his Godzilla doll and we would create Lego sets and we would incorporate all of them, and it's my fondest memories like watching, but it was my brother's passion for sure. I didn't become a Godzilla fan until I did this.
Yeah, no, I grew up with Godzilla like all the other creatures back in the 1970s, and then Godzilla all of a sudden had a TV show and there was a baby Godzilla, and you saw the movies and you saw the black and white Godzilla, you saw the crazy discotheque Godzillas with the crazy music. I mean, it's gone through so many different iterations of Godzilla. It's kind of crazy. When I first accepted this whole mission, I got every Godzilla movie I could get, and when I started watching them, there are a few that I had not seen that they're really out there. I mean, there are some really interesting Godzilla movies, and the music in them, it's like, it's really interesting. The whole 65 years of Godzilla in a box set's a ride.
Yeah, from the late 60s and early 70s ones are really
For me, at least, it feels like you're watching the beginning of filmmaking in Japan. Over the course of those 3 films, you see the story go from basic to adding characters to a full-fledged love, comedic characters, the whole deal in the 3rd film. So the box set, those 3 films alone, it's a lesson in movie making too. It's a history of.
So, I know you are a huge Godzilla fan growing up.
These are facts.
Yeah, so tell me about it. Which movies did you like the most? Which characters did you like the most? Give me a download.
I always him versus Ghidorah. That's his main rival. Mecha Godzilla. Didn't really like Space Godzilla. Really don't see the point of that movie. And then Gigan was my most feared monster because I still to this day think Godzilla looks like he's definitely dying. Like he should have took that L, but I'm glad he didn't. But yeah, and all of that was credit to SYFY. I used to watch it on the SYFY channel, and that gave me everything I needed to know that this dude would be a part of my life for a long time, and now I get to be in it.
Calling out Space Godzilla, that's a sign of real.
It's really a pointless movie.
Were either of you guys huge monster fans?
I mean, if Godzilla had wielded a lightsaber and knew the Force, yeah, I probably would have been a bigger fan.
That's a movie.
That's a movie. Come on, Hollywood.
Did you step back and watch some to prep to get yourself familiar?
No.
Oh God, no.
No, because my character is a young female who's not as knowledgeable as the rest of the adult actors. So I really wanted to come in with a fresh aspect, a fresh perception. I wanted to have to make sure that it seemed real. In the way that she's not as knowledgeable of Godzilla as the rest of them are. So I think that in the next movie, it's
nice. Can we quote you on that?
It's just
Is that dialogue?
No, that was a call to my fries.
No, but the next movie I definitely did a little bit of research just to know what was going on.
I'm a big Godzilla fan.
Oh, cool.
I counted a lot of references to a lot of different movies, little weaving things in and out. And I'm curious, which movies did you look to the most, and which should fans who want to know what they're, getting into watch before they see Godzilla King of the Monsters?
It's hard to specify. I mean, there's so many Godzilla movies. And so I sort of just drew from the whole vast mythology of it. But definitely Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, was an influence because that was the first time you saw these particular creatures on screen together. But I would just say you got to keep your eyes and your ears open and peeled because there's just layers upon layers of Easter eggs.
There's four. I love this movie, so I'm down with that. So there's four big monsters in this movie: Godzilla, Rodan, Ghidorah, and Mothra. I want to have you destroy all monsters, but rank all monsters. Who is the coolest of the four monsters?
Oh, the coolest. I'm gonna put Rodan on the bottom there. He's a backstabber, man. He switches teams. You can't trust that guy. One day he's with you, one day he's not. I would say it's for me, it's the king or the queen, Mothra. She's so beautiful.
No, I'm Ghidorah.
Beautiful. You're Ghidorah.
Yeah, because the action figure, you got heads looking all over the place.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ghidorah, I'm into Ghidorah.
I guess so. Get more bang for your buck.
Yeah, well, it's an action figure.
As an action figure for sure.
Yeah.
3 for 1.
Yeah.
There's 17 monsters overall in this movie. You got the big four from Toho.
And counting.
I'm wondering if you could have used other Toho monsters, which ones you would have wanted to bring in?
I love Mechagodzilla, Gigan, King Caesar was a favorite, and I would say Biollante because she's so unique. It's one of the few female kaiju, and she's also a plant.
I'm wondering where's Minya in this?
That's a tricky one. Very, very complicated feelings about that one.
It is a question that is very divisive for Godzilla fans. As a longtime fan, where do you fall in on the Minya question?
I mean, as a kid, I loved them. But then, it's like the Ewoks. Like, as you get older, you kind of look back and wonder, did it really work? Did it not? I mean, I love the idea of Godzilla having some form of offspring. But, he's got a very different and unique design to him. That's tricky.
I think it's the teeth.
It's a lot of things.